Today I'm going to review She Bleeds by Elizabeth Chipradikul. Can't pronounce it. So, a few years before, for a free roleplay game day, Lamentations of the Flame Princess had made this book, Vaginas Are Magic. But it was a book of spells only for women, but most of the spells had nothing to do with the human condition that is unique to being a woman. A few did, but most did not. In fact, one of them even seemed like it was a male spell. But this book is more like I would expect Vaginas Are Magic to be. A book for female magic. So basically, this is a kind of a system of magic that you do in certain phases of the full moon. You have to do things, and the results are different. You get powers for each of these you do, and the results are different depending on whether the partner you get to this is coerced or is seduced into doing it or forced into doing it. So there's powers for each phase of the moon. This is, I think there's some errors with some of the phases are misnamed here, but so it's a pretty short book. It's once you start this, you end up having to do it for your whole life, but I would probably, if I use this, would only make the player go through it for 1 month. Maybe 2 months, but because it'd be kind of tedious to do it every single month, but maybe even do it every other month. Who knows? Anyway, this, I think, was a pretty good book, but one of the distributors didn't like this book. Didn't like it so much that they burned a bunch of copies of this. Now, it was originally made to be sold at Gen Con. It was a Gen Con exclusive. And there were some leftover copies that went to a distributor so they could be sold in America. And the distributor burned the copies. I think Kiss said once, "We don't care what you do with our albums as long as you pay for them." And these were paid for by the distributor, so they were free to do with them what they wanted, but what they wanted to do was to burn this book. This book is so horrible that they wanted to burn it. However, it's still available from Drive-Thru RPG as a PDF, and it's mostly black and white, so it's pretty easy, pretty cheap to print. So I recommend it. It's not great, but it's pretty good.